I'm not feeling good. My voice isn't right, but I'm going to still give you guys this podcast. So, welcome back to Becoming Mirror, where we're becoming the people we've always prayed and worked to be. Have you ever noticed everybody has an opinion about your life until it's their life? Everybody knows what you should do, where you should go, what job you should take, who you should be with, who you should break up with, what school you should go to, whether you should move or stay, how to save money and how to spend money. You should. And sometimes I'm like, okay, so who made you the manager of my life? Because I don't remember hiring your ass. And I think one of the hardest parts of becoming your own person is learning that you can listen to somebody's opinion without letting them make your decision. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And honestly, my journey and my LSAT journey and law school journey is probably the perfect example. Because if I had $1 for every time somebody asks, you a lawyer yet? I'll probably already be able to afford law school. But seriously, I get it. People are always asking because they're not trying to be rude. Sometimes they're curious or they're just excited for me and they know I want to be a lawyer. But there are moments when I'm like, y'all, please, do you think I don't want to go? Like, yes, I know I haven't forgotten. This is my dream. Emphasis on mine. And what people don't always understand is getting into law school isn't just, oh, I want to be a lawyer. Okay, go. If it worked like that, I'll already be there. The LSAT alone, that's a whole separate conversation. And if you've never taken the LSAT, let me just tell you, it's not cute. You sit down, you read something, and you questioning your own intelligence. You're questioning your whole existence and your life choices and whether you even want to be a lawyer anymore. And the crazy part is you can study, you can drill, you can take practice sections, and you can feel like, okay, I'm getting this. And then you take a full practice test, and your score is like, absolutely not. You're sitting there staring at the screen like, the fuck? And that's part of my journey. I've had good days, I had bad days. I had scores that made me feel like, yes, I can do this. You got this, girl. And then I had scores where I'm like, maybe law school isn't for me. And then I remember, no, I want this. You have to keep going. And that's the part that people don't see. They see that I'm not in law school yet, but they don't see the hours. They don't see the practice tests, and they don't see the studying after work. They don't see the frustrations. They don't see me beating myself up like maybe the other episode, your timeline is your timeline. So they don't see me trying to figure it out and figuring out why I missed a question that I know I should have got right. They don't see all of that. So when somebody asks, why aren't you in law school yet? I have to remind myself, you don't actually know what this journey has required from me. And yes, now let me be fair. I'm not going to sit here and act like I never have opinions about other people's lives because I am human. I've definitely looked at somebody and thought, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Just like I was basically texting one of my friends and I was like, these people are still procreating in poverty. Yes. Like, why would y'all bring kids into this world and you, never mind. Anywho, there's a difference between having an opinion and thinking your opinion should control somebody else's life. And I've had to learn that too. Sometimes people don't need advice. Sometimes they just need somebody to listen. Sometimes they already know what they're going to do. They just wanted to tell you. And sometimes that's me. But basically, you need to mind your business. Respectfully. I think opinions become dangerous when we start making decisions based on how other people will feel about them. Because now you're not living your life, you're managing everybody else's expectations of you. You take the job because your family thinks it's a good job. You go to school because everybody expects you to. You stay somewhere because you're scared people would think you failed. You rush into something because everybody else seems to be ahead. And eventually you wake up and realize, wait, do I even want this? And that's a scary question because sometimes the answer is no. And that's okay. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to take longer. You're allowed to choose a different path. And you're allowed to say, that doesn't work for me. without writing a 5-page explanation. You don't have to explain to nobody but yourself. And I'm learning that too. I don't have to convince everybody that my choices make sense because I'm the one who has to live with them. I'm the one who has to wake up every morning. I'm the one who has to pay my bills. I'm the one who has to study. I'm the one who has to sit for the LSAT. I'm the one who has to deal with the results. So respectfully, I need to be the one making the fucking decision. And when it comes to law school, I really had to learn this because the pressure is real. You have people asking, what's your score? When are you applying? When are you taking it again? Did you get accepted? And sometimes I'm just like, can I breathe? Because y'all, I'm working on it. I didn't forget. And honestly, if you're not studying for the LSAT, if you're not taking it, if you're not trying to get into law school, you probably don't realize how much pressure comes with this. And I say this with love, but the pressure I'm dealing with, you would probably crumble, respectfully. And that's why I stopped feeling like I need to explain every step of my journey, because people only see the outcome. I know the work, I know the sacrifices, and I know the frustration, and I know how badly I want this. And just another thought. Yes, like I said, you can have your opinion, but that doesn't mean a person has to follow the opinion that you have. So if you're listening to this and you're dealing with people who constantly have something to say about your life, I want you to remember something. Advice is information. It's not an instruction. You can listen. You can consider it. You can even realize maybe they're right. But you get to decide. And sometimes the most confident thing you can say is, I hear you, but I've decided what's best for me. Because becoming who you're supposed to be means learning how to hear your own voice, especially when everybody else is talking. It could be so loud, and you just have to get a moment of silence. So, here's something I want you to think about this week. Whose opinion has been influencing you the most? Has it been your parents, your friends, your coworkers, social media, the people who aren't even living the life you're trying to build? And social media is fake, by the way. But yeah, ask yourself, if nobody had an opinion about this decision, what would I choose? Not what would make everybody else happy, not what looks good, not what sounds impressive, but what would you choose? And maybe you don't have to act on that answer today, but at least be honest with yourself about it. So, at the end of the day, everybody is going to have something to say. Some people will understand your choices and some won't. Some people will support you and some won't. And that's okay. And just don't give a fuck about them talking behind your back because they're going to do it. But because your life isn't a group project, you don't need everybody to understand the assignment. You just need to know what you're building. And if you're currently in a season where you're waiting, trying again, changing direction, or figuring it all out, don't let somebody else's timeline make you rush yours. Especially if you're studying for the LSAT. Because trust me, I know. So until next time, keep growing, keep showing up for yourself. And remember, we're not chasing perfection, we're becoming.